Hey, this is Matt. Once again, welcome back to another video. It's another paid request. It's time for Antonio. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, topics, reactions, commentaries, what have you, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And he wanted me to talk about Disney's Hercules film, as well as thoughts on the live-action one. Now, Disney's Hercules I've seen before, and I watched it again recently. It came out in 1997. And it's okay. It's not an anime film I really ever care to own, gravitate towards, rewatch a lot. I just think there's a lot more interesting Disney animated films, whether it be Aladdin, whether it be The Lion King, whether it be Tarzan. They came out a few years after this. Maybe because like the animation at times is fairly good, in particular when it's utilized on Hades, James Woods' character, and all the fire effects, like changing color based on his mood or how it to be manipulated throughout the air. Sometimes some of the human designs are not big on, like the design of Hercules. And I think with the Hercules mythos, they kind of felt more like Superman mythos than the Hercules. Because you have the baby that is away from its home and raised by these two kind of farmer parents and doesn't know where he came from, who he is, until ultimately realizes he's got these powers, and then meets a lady that's not Lois Lane. These are the point that she dies, kind of like Lois Lane and Superman the movie. This point that he gives his powers up, like Superman did in Superman 2. So, and I'm sitting there going, well, I'll just go watch Superman 1 and 2 then. But, I mean, it's not bad. It does fall in a lot of the cliches at the time, those Disney films. You have the villain having the funny henchman, just like the Lion King had the goofy hyenas, played by Whoopi Goldberg and Cheech Marin, or the God, I'm trying to think. The Aladdin had Iago, the bird, the parrot. Here you have Pain and Panic, voiced by Bobcat Goldthwait and Matt Frewer. So you had these type of you have to have songs in there. I don't think the songs are that good. The only song I really like is not really. It's kind of part of the movie, but not really. The version I like is the Michael Bolton version. Go the Distance. I think that's a great song. Love that song. There's another version of that song in the movie. I don't think it's nearly as good as the Michael Bolton one. But I guess you don't want someone coming out and all of a sudden like, why? How's he seem like Michael Bolton? Like the Michael Bolton one just seems much more epic and much more deserves a different movie. I remember I first heard that song. This is before I saw this movie. Way back in the days of YouTube, there was a tribute to Rocky, the Rocky films, and this guy did a great job editing a tribute to the Rocky films using this song. I'll be there someday. I can go the distance. And it worked well for Rocky. I mean, but yeah, the rest of the songs I'm not really big on. Never care to listen to them again. I mean, the story is. I forgot that Charlton Heston was a part of this as the narrator at the beginning. And he's narrating, but then these ladies interrupt him, and then they're going to be the narrators. And they're also the singers. They're kind of like the ladies in Little Shop of Horrors, the remake. Although those were better songs. And the stories, you have baby Hercules from Zeus. And also during his birth there's a baby Pegasus. Willingly another James Woods as Hades. These witches, they tell him that one day Hercules is going to be one that screw up his plans and his power. So he wants to turn Hercules into a pure mortal So of course he lets his stupid minions have this type of liquid, and you have to drink every single drop. But they screw up, and he doesn't drink every single drop. He drinks most of the drops. So he's not a god, but he has superhuman strength. And he takes care of these minions even as a kid. And the baby gets lost and found by these farmers. After the baby came from Krypton. He grows up, he's a teenager. Zeus finally tosses him and says, listen, yeah, sorry about my throat, damn. Sorry about it. It's the heat. The dry heat in Texas. Every day is like over 100 degrees. So sorry for the consistent clearing of the throat. But Zeus says if you're a true hero on Earth, you can enter Olympus. Which I'm thinking, why does he have to prove himself? But, I mean, I guess it's just the rules. And you gotta go find this trainer of heroes played by Danny DeVito. So a chunk of it is Danny DeVito training Hercules and how to be a hero. You got a bit of montage there. Hercules meeting Pegasus once again, who's a flying white horse but has the brain of a bird. You have Maid, the love interest, who keeps needing to tell the audience she's not a damsel in distress, and she's working for Hades. You come to find out because of this deal. And it's one of those scenes where, like I said, some of the animation is nicely done, like the river Styx, the showcase of Olympus. James Woods steals the show. Like, James Woods is easily the best part of it as Hades. I'm a big James Woods fan. Love him as an actor from the film Cop, The Hard Way, Videodrome, even bit parts he does in films like Any Given Sunday and The General's Daughter. It's always great to see James Woods in there. Cat's Eye with the segment Twitters Inc. about the smoking segment. Love James Woods. And he's having a lot of fun with this. I'm going to maim you after my meeting. Or the way he'll be angry and then he kind of casually says this, casually says that. Very James Woodsy performance, but to me that's a big positive. Makes the villain much more interesting than the hero. And that's one of those movies, and one of the issues with the movie, is that the villain is so much more interesting than the hero. I want to follow Hades' daily life. Hades. I don't want to be. I don't want the movie to be about Hercules. I want it to be Disney's Hades, and his story, and his life, and his journey. But Sally's not the case. But yeah, he's easily the best part of it. The jokes are times hit and miss. There's a lot of references to pop culture, like during the training scene, Hurt, Danny DeVito's character, and Pegasus are doing the Karate Kid move. Danny DeVito does the "I'm walking here" from Midnight Cowboy. That's a lot of references. The jokes at times fairly hit and miss. And I've seen like the jokes are hit and miss. The songs are pretty meh. The look of the characters, they're being very, I guess maybe trying to be a bit more of like the street statues. But on the flip side, if you're at all somewhat knowledgeable on the Hercules mythos, none of this is part of it. Which makes sense in a way because the actual Hercules mythos is pretty violent. And it's a Disney movie, you can't have that be the case. The action, I mean, you have the train montage, then there's a bit where he has got to fight this Hydra, where you cut the head off and more split off until he gets swallowed, and he cuts out of it. Then he's got to hit these rocks, and the debris crushes it. Bay gets hired by Hades to seduce Hercules. But then, of course, she falls for him, and she feels guilty about what's going on, and tries to help him. To the point where Hercules is mortal. Hades takes over Olympus seemingly fairly easily, so all the gods must be a bit just the pussies that'd be taking over that damn easily. But spoilers, there's a bit where Hercules is trying, even though he's mortal and has no strength. Maid saves him, but she dies. The deal's been reneged, so now Hercules has his powers again and stops Hades and them. But all the action scenes, they're there, but just nothing that made me go, wow. There's more like, it's there. You know, the Pegasus horse is cute. You know, don't mind him. Danny DeVito's being Danny DeVito. Not a bad thing, because I'm a big fan of Danny DeVito since the days I watch him in Twins and other movies of that nature. Romancing the Stone, Jewel of the Nile. I do like Danny DeVito. Throw Mama from the Train. But it's one of those films that I think is just okay. It's just an alright film. It's not a film I love. It's not a film I care to own on DVD. I don't think it's a bad film. There's no annoying politics like they put in so many damn films today. And sure, I'll take the film over a lot of crap that comes out today, but it's just okay. You know, the guy who voices Hercules is okay. Now, Antonio asked about the live-action version. I didn't know which version he meant, because there's a lot of live-action versions. There's the Steve Reeves from back in the day. There's Arnold's Hercules in New York, which is an awful movie. Whether you watch the version where Arnold Schwarzenegger is dubbed or not dubbed, it's awful either way. It's also known as Hercules Goes Bananas. I think that's the one where he throws the bear. Like, he fights a bear, which is a guy in a bad suit, and throws it. There's the Lou Ferrigno one, which is goofy but still kind of fun, where, especially the second one, because, well, the first one, I think that's one where he does fight a bear in that as well, or something, but he throws it into space. And the second movie is, let's have the fight from the first movie again, but everybody's made of stars. So you have this Hercules made of stars and the villain made of stars, and they're fighting each other, and then they turn into like these animals made of stars, and it's so out there that I will admit I enjoyed it, and I like the music in it, and yeah, the Lou Ferrigno Hercules, you'll get at least a laugh out of. So I was entertained by those. I do like Hercules Legendary Journeys with Kevin Sorbo, the TV show. I would say that's my favorite version of Hercules. The TV movies, they're a bit lengthy. I think it worked better when it was just the show, where it's like, what, 40-some minutes episodes apiece. And Kevin Sorbo, I thought, fit the role well, where he's playing a different type of Hercules, where he's a man of the people, and, you know, there's a little camp sense of humor, because Sam Raimi, Rob Tapper, like, all those guys were involved. Bruce Campbell eventually cameoed as the Teen of Thieves. But yeah, I do quite enjoy that show. Hercules Legendary Journeys. But I think Antonio meant the one with Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. I can't lie, I don't remember much about that film. The only thing I remember is, wow, I'm getting sick and tired of seeing Dwayne Johnson. Getting tired of seeing The Rock. And wow, they really misadvertised this, because they made it seem as if, oh, it's Hercules doing these great feats of strength and all these creatures he's fighting. That was like a montage at the beginning, and then you realize it was all made up. Hercules is just a regular guy. He's a fighter. He's a warrior, but he has no superhuman strength. There's no supernatural, the gods. It's just he's a fighter, he's a warrior, and he helps these people fight these other people. So you pretty much took what made the Hercules mythos interesting to people and took it out to just make another, what, wannabe gladiator without the violence, wannabe whatever the fuck. Which I thought was such a weird direction to go in with Hercules. This cast The Rock is Hercules, but you're not going to do all that crazy shit that Hercules does. Except in, again, this little montage that it was all stories people made up, like big flights of fancy. At least this does have the Hercules flights of fancy. Granted, it's try to be a bit more like Superman, but that feels more like Hercules than the Rock one. So yeah, I don't know what the deal was with that. I think that was directed by Brett Ratner. I could be wrong. Which now you never hear about him anymore after those allegations about him. And Brett Ratner was a guy that, I liked Rush Hour 1 and 2. I like Money Talks. He's not really known for his action. But the Rush Hour films, if the action is worth it because of Jackie Chan and his team, not because of Brett Ratner's direction. Money Talks is funny because of Chris Tucker's talent and, Charlie Sheen and them being funny together. It's not because of exciting direction or action. So Brett Ratner is not really the guy you get for that type of stuff. Although I don't mind X-Men 3 compared to other people. I actually don't mind X-Men The Last Stand. But yeah, that was just a weird director to get for that, and just a weird choice for the director of Hercules in that. I didn't understand it, but yeah, with that said, I don't know what else to say. Thanks for watching, take care, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.